Yellow Army! We are the Norwich Yellow Army! We are the Norwich Yellow Army!
Hey, what is going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another episode of Norwich City News Daily. Of course, big news yesterday was that we made our first signing of the summer transfer window as Marley Watkins coming in on a free agent from July the 1st. Of course, he formerly played at Barnsley. If you haven't yet checked that video out, then go to yesterday's one and check that out, but probably after this one. But once again, another big day's worth of news, and most of these stories kind of broke yesterday. There's been a few developments on them, but I thought that I wanted to make this video today because I didn't want to overshadow the Marley Watkins news yesterday. The first bit of news, of course, I'm sure you've all heard about it. It was broken by Paddy Davitt of the EDP, is that Jonny Howson basically wants out at Norwich City. Now, look, mixed emotions to this. Let's get that straight off the bat. Jonny Howson, been here for 5 years, probably one of our most influential players in that time, has seen us, you know, probably the best player in the Premier League for us, probably the best player in the Championship spells we've had, brought him in from Leeds on a fairly decent price tag. I think he's played nearly 200 appearances or nearly 200 games for us, and in that time scored some incredibly memorable goals. But he's 29 years old, he's got 2 years left on his contract, and he's probably at the back end of his prime years, you know. I would have thought he's undoubtedly got another 3 seasons at good Championship standard left in him. I'm no doubt about that. He's a very classy player and he goes about his work very, very well. But if Jonny Howson wants out of the club, he's got a young family, he wants to relocate his family back up north, back to Yorkshire, where he very openly loves, and he's always come across to me as a proud Yorkshireman, and that's the way it should be. You know, you should be proud of where you come from, and Jonny Howson is that. Of course, loves Leeds United. Is that going to be the move he goes for? Probably not, but you've got a lot of clubs up near Leeds who would, one, have the money to spend on him, and two, have the ambitions that would meet Jonny Howson. So you look at the likes of Burnley, maybe, the clubs that have come down, Middlesbrough, Hull, Sunderland even, you know, clubs near kind of Yorkshire, which is the main aim for Howson to move back up there, to be able to pay the transfer fee, to be able to pay his wages, and to be able to meet his expectations of probably competing either in the Premier League or near the top of the table with Norwich. I don't think he's unhappy at Norwich. I don't think that's a thing. I just think that it would probably make sense for both parties, really. Howson wants a different challenge. He wants to move his family back up north, and we could do with the money. There were reports, you know, it sort of surfaced about a month ago, didn't it, that Jonny Howson maybe was thinking about a move out and that Leeds were going to come in for him with about a £4 million bid. I said back then it was nonsense, and I think it was nonsense. Look, Leeds might have come in with a bid, but they were never going to get him. I think Howson, minimum, we should be looking at a £6 million, probably. In this current transfer market, when everything is just inflated, especially for English players, you should probably be looking at £8 million. And the likes of Sunderland, who picked up something like £90 million in prize money last year, would be able to afford that fee. You look at teams like Sheffield Wednesday, you know, teams. There's teams in the Championship with big budgets. Leeds aren't one of them, and I don't think Leeds would be able to attract Howson back here. Not at this point of his career, anyway. Maybe in a couple of seasons' time. But it does make sense for me to let Howson go. I suppose it then raises the question of, well, if Howson leaves, as well as Dorrans, who's been linked with a move out, then it leaves you limited in terms of midfielders. You've then pretty much only got, in terms of senior midfielders, Louis Thompson and Alexander Tete. Now, both of them can do a job at Championship level. I would probably argue that neither of them are top Championship players like Jonny Howson, but if you bring in £8 million or £6 million, you knock off 40k off the wage budget, whatever it may be, then it does allow you to bring in a Farke type player. Now, it looks like Farke wants to play this 4-1-4-1, which means that the holding midfielder will do what it says on the tin. Hold the midfield, nothing really more than that. And I guess your Alex Tete or your Louis Thompson suits that more than a Jonny Howson, who would be looking to bomb forward from that midfield. So does Howson fit in Farke's plans? Look, I'm not too sure, but I've got no doubt that Howson, if he did stay, is a professional enough to be able to fit into whatever the plans may be. And I'm sure if he did stay, then he wouldn't kick up a fuss. But if there's being £8 million chucked on the table for Jonny Howson, I think it'd be a very silly move for Norwich City to keep hold of him, especially because if we keep him through the whole of next season, that means he's then only got 1 year left on his contract. And as you guys know, when players have only got 1 year left on their contract, their value plummets and you might only be able to pick up £2-3 million of a house. And so that's that. In terms of a player that might be coming in, now this is a name you probably all have heard of actually, is Sean Raggett. Now Raggett plays for Lincoln and obviously he was made memorable from that incredible FA Cup run this season. He scored against Burnley to knock them out. Now Raggett, 6'5", centre-back, release clause of £350,000 that Norwich City would have to meet if they wanted to get hold of Raggett. That was made aware by Nick Masheter, who has got everything bang on since Stuart Webber has come in. So that's pretty much certain. We'd have to pay 350 grand for him. 6'5" centre-back. Yes, he's a non-league player, and there's no kind of making that sound pretty. It's a big step up from non-league to the Championship, but players have done it. You look at Andre Gray, you look at Jamie Vardy, they're probably the two most memorable names that have come from non-league into the Premier League. Sean Raggett is a bit different for a centre-back really, I suppose. As long as you're tall, as long as you can head the ball, you're probably going to do a decent job in the Championship. We were undone so many times last season from teams simply punting it long and us not being able to deal with it. Tim Close was the big culprit of that, and that's why he really struggled. We all know that Tim Close is a spectacular centre-back in the Premier League. Good ball player, very good up here. But maybe you just need a Sean Raggett who can put his noggin on the end of things and just clear danger, you know. It's as simple as that sometimes. Sean Raggett, 350 grand. Look, it's a no-risk signing for me and it could come off and pay good dividends. So that's that one. As well as that, Rob Butler tweeted out that we're looking at a young Dutch centre-back who's also being targeted by some Bundesliga clubs. Now, that is the only info we've got on that one at the moment, but at least we are doing our business early. I heard Paddy Davitt and Dave Freezer say something that how many times have Norwich City gone into June and we still haven't done any business? At least now we've got the Marley Watkins deal done. I'm expecting there to be a few more transfers done in the next couple of weeks. Maybe Sean Raggett and maybe this young Dutch centre-back might be part of that. But at least we're getting our business done early, and that seems something that Stuart Webber and Daniel Farke are very, very confident about doing and are making it a priority to get business done early. And that's very positive. And finally, pre-season tour. It looks like it's going to be in Germany. Now, a person I follow called Corey, who's brilliant on Twitter, go and drop him a follow, has basically done his research, and it looks like we're going to be playing in Germany. Something about our under-23 side. They've had a fixture announced. We always like to tie it in with our youth teams, don't we? So if there is a pre-season tour in Germany, I think I might go out there. I was joking with my mates the other night saying, imagine the scenes if it's in Germany. It'd be a class like week away, have a few beers, watch the football, easy to get to from where we are as well, cheap flights and all of that good stuff. So if you do want to see me in Germany following the pre-season tour, then let me know, because it is possible. So drop it a like if you want to see that. Let me know your thoughts on Jonny Howson, Sean Raggett, our transfers so far, and also this pre-season tour in Germany. Will you be going out there? Might I be seeing you if I do go out there myself? Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support on the recent videos. It does mean a lot to me. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Peace out.